Move on to the emeralds so that we can make sure, because right now they're breathing down my back and they've been timing me on each section. Yes, I need to give them equal time and make sure that I am ending the seminar, at a reasonable hour. Midnight is not what they're after. So, because they promptly have a plane to catch exactly an hour and 30 minutes after the seminar is over. Even though on the website it says it ends at 6, ? Which means whenever it gets done. Okay? All right, so it is time for me to move on. Pearls, gotta go. Bye. Emeralds. Okay. This gem enjoys instructions. In fact, our emeralds, these are the ladies and gentlemen that when their children received a toy for a birthday or what have you, these are the individuals that actually took out the instructions and read them all first. Yes. Not only did they read them all first, they took an inventory of all the items that were supposed to be in the box, every nut, every bolt, every screw, every washer. They take an inventory and they actually put it in the order in which the item is going to be put together, based on the fact that they read the instructions, of course, all the way through first. Then, after they've taken their inventory, if there is something missing, they will go ahead and send an email to the corporation letting them know how inefficient their manufacturing is, and to promptly please send me a replacement of this item. I paid good money for it, although I did get it on sale. Okay, check it out. People behind me, they just look at the pictures. They pull out the instruction, they look at the picture, they don't read one word. They don't read one word. They look at the picture and they say, oh, I could do this. Okay? They put the thing together and there are always leftover parts. Always. So, based on that introduction with our emeralds, you can see they are very precise. They are very accurate with everything. They're extremely planned out. When I was talking about the debt reduction plan earlier, you liked that. How many of you enjoyed the debt reduction? Yes. And how many of you enjoyed the differentiate between wise and foolish spending? And how many of you enjoyed the part where I said, make sure you eat everything that is in your pantry? Yes. It's responsible. It's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. There's no question. And debt is not the right thing to do. Except, of course, and many of you understand this and millionaires know this, the only time that you go into debt is if you can make money quicker than the rate of the loan, of the interest rate. So, for example, in buying homes, if the inflation is carrying the home and you're also putting sweat labor into the home, increasing the value, that debt rate stays the same, whether it was 6%, 7%, or whatever. That stays exactly the same. But the house grows, which means that you get the leftover. Let's say the house goes 10%, the debt stays at 6%, you gain 4%. So it's the only time it makes sense. Just like I said, I didn't have the money to come to my first training seminars. I financed it on credit cards, but I made actually $50,000. I invested 25, I made 50, and then I've made millions. So it was worth it, even though it was a risky thing to do, but when you calculate it out on paper, it just makes sense. How many of you that just makes sense? This is why most of you have degrees. Any degrees here in the room? Anybody with multiple degrees? You know why? You love to learn. You love to learn. You love to gain knowledge. You love to expand. You love research, which is a great asset as well as a liability, because you can do research for days, months, even years. It's endless, especially with the internet now. There's an amazing amount of information, and we live in the information age, so we have just an endless amount of information that we have access to. These people are so predictable that their spouses at any time of the day know exactly what they're doing. For example, if it's 12:01, they know that their husband or their wife is taking a bite of the same ham sandwich that they've been eating for 30 years. How many of you have been eating the same breakfast for years? Well, you don't have to think now, do you? No, it's all planned out. All you do is work your plan. It's very simple. Okay. They are very controlled. Their clothing typically is more darker colors and dated because it still works. It still works. There is no reason to get rid of this sport coat that has the patches on the elbows. That is from the 70s, because guess what? The patches are back. They're back. And the truth is, it's still in good working condition. They pay good money for their clothing, so it lasts. And so I just want to ask, just for fun, is there anybody here that has a shirt that you've had for 30 years? Most of the clothing in my closet is in excess of 12 to 14 years old. Yeah, most of what I wear, most of my shoes are 14, 15 years old. They're very reserved. The way that they talk to you, they talk in a rhythm. I'm going to show you here in a minute. They actually speak in a rhythm. And that's typically how you know you're talking to an emerald, because there's a rhythm consistent with almost all of them. It's the same kind of rhythm, and more monotone is the way that they speak. And when they talk, they're not overly loud. They're more soft-spoken, very similar to the pearls. And they don't like mindless conversations. It's a waste of time, and time is money. So again, they're accurate and they're efficient. So whatever they do is very well planned out and very deliberate. They're also very diligent and very persistent. They won't quit. They just won't quit. You have a gift. Your spiritual gift, according to the Bible, is a gift of discernment and wisdom, which is why most of you have money. Most emeralds have money. In fact, how many of you have a portfolio? Check this out. How many of you do not know what a portfolio is? I have a clue what a portfolio is. Now, isn't that interesting? A portfolio, my friends, is for their retirement. Is to make sure that their future is secure. That's why a sapphire marrying one of them is a wonderful thing. It's an absolute wonderful thing. Yes. They're going to make sure that you don't go broke and that you're taken care of during a famine season. That's what they're going to make sure of. All right. They're very practical when they purchase things. It has to make sense. They're not spontaneous purchasers at all. They're going to think things through. They are also inquisitive. They ask a lot of questions. They will spend hours with you on the phone, my friends. Hours with you on the phone, asking you questions, drilling you with questions. Two things concerning people. Number one, the sapphires are intimidated by you tremendously. And the reason is because you do ask a lot of questions, and they feel like they're being interrogated. They feel like they're being interrogated. And so they get very defensive right away. Okay? And the reason being is that they spent most of their growing up life in trouble. So it's just natural. Why are you doing that? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be doing something else? Okay? So because of that, this combination can be very difficult when an emerald does not understand how to change their language just a little bit to disarm that sapphire, where you can get a confession. Where you create a safe place for them to go ahead and speak their heart, so that you can solve the problem in which they could be and which chances are they are in one. So the wisdom gift, typically you've used that gift only in objects, inanimate things. I want you to ask God to give you wisdom with people, because it's people that you deal with every day. It is people that are going to be with you for the rest of your life. It is people that you are surrounded by. And it is people that are your biggest challenge in your life, by far. And the only reason why it is because of communication. The truth is, God only made you on time. No other was important to God, do you think he would have made everybody timely and orderly? If it was important to him, do you think he would have done it that way? It obviously wasn't important in the big picture of things to make everybody perfect like you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's about understanding people. We were not all wired the same. They have strengths and they have strengths and they have strengths that cover your weaknesses. And your job is to use your strengths to cover their weaknesses. And one of them is organization, order, and timeliness. Got it? It's not to change them or them or them. And when we don't have wisdom in the area of understanding people, we try to change everybody to be like you. That's how we do it. We try to change our kids to be like us. Don't you see how efficient this is? Don't you understand? This is very important in the overall picture of everything. In order for us to be able to work efficiently, it is very, very important that you adhere to my instructions and follow directions. We understand that. But in order to get them to do that, you need to learn how to speak their language so they really hear what you're saying. Because I will tell you what the rest of the room hears when you speak. Wah, 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 wah. The Emeralds understand you perfectly. They get it, but nobody else does. So let me do this. Who is very, very strong? You know that you're the strongest of you is an Emerald. This one right here? Okay. Okay.
My name is Joas.
He didn't even know that I have to open his mouth. My book down. Okay. Yes?
Tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Okay, so tell us your name.
My name is Joas Miller.
And where are you from?
From Libby, Montana.
Okay. And tell me what you do outside of any curricular activity with a home-based business.
I'm part owner, COO of We Build Log Homes in Montana.
You do? So tell me, what do you like about what you do?
I'm on the phone a lot, so I enjoy doing that. And a lot of people come in the door, so I help them with, buying products, showing them around, talking with them, and I'm learning to interact with different personalities.
Isn't that great?
It's awesome.
So did you learn how to do that?
DannyJohnson.com.
That's awesome. Okay, so in the log home business, what do your tasks look like daily?
I do some emailing. I take care of any incoming phone calls. When people come to our office, I take care of them, show them the plan.
What's the plan?
We've got several divisions. One is our office. One is where we actually pre-assemble the homes. And one is where we do the preparation as far as sawing the logs, peeling them, and that kind of work.
Okay. The terminology was reproduction. What was the other terminology?
Pre-assembly.
Pre-assembly. Do you all know what that means? Do you know what that means? Yes. Yes. I know what pre-assembling means. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay, cool. All right. This is your crossover. No. Over here, baby. Any money motivation you have is from here, because they're strong money motivators as well. Yes. But you enjoy people far more than an soft emerald does, by far. And you said, I like to help people be able to show them around, be able to build those relationships. Yeah, that's over there. So you're an emerald pearl is where you're at, which is awesome. That's why it's easier for you to be able to learn about people, because you have an interest in them. The emerald rubies over here, no worries, you'll get motivated too. Because it'll make you a lot of money and help you to be far more efficient with everything you do, which gives you more time to make more money or to research. Thank you so much. Yeah. Now, in moving out of the emeralds, understand that they're going to ask you a lot of questions. If ever they are being interviewed for something or they are looking at making a decision into something, they are going to be very inquisitive. The important thing that you do is don't try to be the expert with the emeralds. You tell them the truth. And so if they ask you a question, a technical question about how something is made or put together or manufactured, did somebody die on this product? Those are typically the questions that they're going to ask. What are the ingredients? These are the questions that, how many of you ask these kind of questions? Yes. They want to know the statistical rate of failure in a product or in a company or in a service. They want to know those answers. And so don't be intimidated by that because because the gift of discernment says there is a downside and an upside. And so these people are not afraid of making decisions. They just want to know up front what's the downside, what's the risk, because if the word outvalues the risk, they have no problem taking a risk. They do take risk. But they need to know up front what is in the future for me as far as the downside of everything that I do. That's what they want to know. And so you answer those questions very simply. And so if it's a question concerning ingredients, you want to satisfy their question with this answer. That is a great question. And I am not the person that actually developed this, but I can certainly put you on the phone with the corporation that does, and you can spend as much time as you'd like to getting all of that detailed information from them. Does that satisfy you? Yes. Not only that, I gain credibility, not trying to act like an expert that I'm not. I'm not on the manufacturing floor. I have no idea what the answer is. So now I've gained trust and credibility with my emerald by confronting the issue and saying, I am not the individual that actually manufactures it. I'm not the person that wrote the policies. I'm not the person that did the ingredients. Whatever. I will put you in touch with somebody that can give you that detailed information right now. Do you have a pen and paper handy? Now I'm free to go do what I should be doing. Talking to more people instead of spending hours on the phone with an emerald. All right? Because they will spend hours on the phone with you. They will, clearly. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is important for me to go ahead and move on to the rubies. I have 50 seconds left? Yeah. Thank you. I absolutely appreciate you timing. I really, really do appreciate that. That helps me to be proficient with everything else that I have to do for the rest of the day. However, at this time, it is time for me to go ahead and move on to our ruby section so that we can complete this portion of First Steps to Success. So please excuse me, and thank you so much for your time and your attention. Okay. 100% of that was Ruby. Is fighting and showing them up. Let me tell you about that, because the sport that they chose obviously is not basketball or football or baseball, but a Ruby loves individual sports. Individual sports. Why? They don't want to depend on them or anybody else screwing something up. That's the whole reason why. It's on them, and they can depend on themselves. That's the whole point. Now, you can spot a ruby. Clothing is going to be dark. It's typically going to be also what's trendy, but the best. You don't see a lot of printed fabrics in this area at all. You see fine jewelry. They love fine foods. They like the finest hotels. They like fast cars. And typically red or black. So funny. You see a lot of black in the closets of these men and women. This is where the men and the women will wear $120 jeans. Okay, they will. They'll wear $120 jeans on their backside. In fact, come on. They like all the name brands, expensive shoes. Whatever is expensive, they gotta have it. They gotta have it. That's just the way it is. When they walk into a room, they size up their competition instantly. If the woman isn't a diamond, she's looking for her to something not like this, but like this. Are you all hearing me? Love to show their stuff. Oh, really? Wow. They turn in their ticket, when they're going into the airplane, like this. Not like this. Making sure. Hi. They love authority. They like to be in charge. They like to be in control of everything. They take charge in every situation. Everything. They do things they shouldn't do because of the challenge of taking charge. So this is why they are not efficient with time. Because they say yes to everything. They are the busiest people on the planet. They're the busiest people on the planet. They get very little sleep because you can sleep when? When you're... It's just so amazing. They can sleep when they're dead, so there's no reason to sleep. Okay? They don't ever eat. It's the truth. They skip meals all the time. Constantly skip meals because they forget to eat. Why? They're too busy making money. So eating is a waste of time, and time is money. And so therefore they skip meals, and then somewhere around 10 o'clock at night, they make up for all lost time. How many of you do this? They make up for all the in-between snacks and all 3 meals all in one deal. And they do it in 7 minutes flat. Isn't that the craziest thing? These people, when you have dinner with them, they're the first ones to finish their meal. Inhale their meal. They are very determined, also very persistent. They don't know how to quit. They don't know how to lose. They were born to win. You're firm and you're enterprising, very competitive. You want to make sure you're competing with the right things and for the right things. You were born that way. You were made to be competitive. But when that competition is all set aside for you, for the kingdom of self, it will destroy you. But if that competition and that win is to destroy what is wrong and to raise up what is right, to fight the real fight against the right one and not people, now you have all of heaven behind you, and you will win in a way you have never, ever, ever won before in your life. They're quick decision makers, very quick decision makers. They don't have to think a long time to make a decision, and they don't care if it's the wrong decision. They'll deal with the consequences later. Oh well. That's the bottom line. They are natural goal setters, and being natural goal setters, and because of confidence, because you have a strong confidence, there is a place of liability. When we are overconfident and we don't know how to say no, because at any place that we see something that we can do better, okay, that's overconfident. Some of you, whenever you were younger looking for a job, I could do that. You have no experience at all. No experience at all in that profession. Done. I could do that. How many of you do this? Yes, we do this. Okay? So in doing this with that kind of confidence that's not been rooted in wisdom, but the confidence of I'm here to promote myself, okay? So we sign up for things that we should never sign up for, not even thinking. Now realize this. So here, you came to a presentation, you looked at who was doing it, said whatever, and you said, hey, listen, by the way, can you let me know who number 1 is? Because I'm going to be sending them an email and putting them on notice. They're about to become number 2. Because second place is the first. So we say, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I do that. Lots of these people are ahead of organizations. They're heads of lots of different things. Now watch. You're goal setters. You're achievers. And if you're not achieving, you're dying. Watch me. How many of you have battled with depression throughout your life? Isn't that amazing? Anybody have a nervous breakdown, a clinical nervous breakdown? Okay. Nervous breakdown. Okay. How many of you have burnt out many times? Can you believe that? This group is overstressed. And why? Because you need some help. Many of you stopped setting goals a long time ago. How many of you stopped setting goals? Okay. The reason why you do this is because of saying yes, yes, yes to all these things and signing up for these things that you shouldn't be signing up for. Just to prove that, hey, I'm the best at everything. Okay? That's what the point is, to prove that I am the best at everything. And just let me let all of you know that I am the best at everything. So when you do this, you don't take an account for, number one, what you already have committed in your life and all the other things that you have going on. Not to mention the fact, the skill set that it takes to actually perform the job, to get it done even quicker. So when we don't look at the bigger picture of, okay, I'm already doing 17 other things, and I don't have a clue on how to do this thing, and I don't know what level of skill it takes to be able to make it happen. Okay, let me just real quickly interview a very solid Ruby who is so flaming that it's almost painful. Say your name for everybody.
My name is Matthew Gonzalez
Cool.
from Fairbanks, Alaska.
And tell us what it is that you do.
I was an electrician, and I did real estate investing and a small business.
3 things at once.
And I was burnt out.
No way. So tell me, what do you like about real estate investing?
Money.
Place, close. That's it. That's what they like about whatever it is they do. What do you like about being an electrician?
Money.
And what do you like about being in a home-based business?
The money.
They're very direct in their communication. They know exactly what they're there for and what they're supposed to do. There's no confusion there at all. It's for the money. Period. End of story.
I wanted to retire by 30. I'm still
that.
on my way.
Yeah, done that. Been there, done that, bored stiff. And you will be bored stiff too.
I won't.
Yes, you will.
No, I won't retire.
No, you won't retire. It'll last about a month, and none of your other friends will be able to retire with you.
Yeah,
Yes, so it's no fun being by yourself.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah. And you get bored traveling.
Well, I'm
and
with
spending
like
money.
the 2 best people.
Are you
right there.
serious?
Yeah.
You guys
Come
are
on,
together?
Get up.
Did you hear that? I am with the 2 best people. Everybody else in the room is schmucks. Matthew's just putting you on notice. I am with the best people. I don't know who the rest of you came from or who you came with, but if you didn't come with me and my 2 best people, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Which is awesome. There you go. This is the language of a Ruby. I love it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Matthew. I appreciate it. Okay. Last and final on you that stop setting goals. You, my friends, are going to continue to burn out your life if you don't get a clue. You are horrible time managers. Horrible time managers. And you are horrible delegators because you have a standard that no one can do it better than you. If you cannot learn how to delegate and you can't learn how to motivate the rest of these people, because in your mind, because of this confidence you have and because you know you can get things done and you know you are achieved, everyone else falls short. No one else can do as good as you. So you can't let other things go. But the truth is, some of you are doing things that you could pay somebody else $10 an hour to do. But you want to do it. Well, you're paying yourself less than you're supposed to. It is very important that you learn how to delegate and manage your time. It's not about them doing it perfect. It's the fact that you don't have to do it is better. Whatever you don't have to do is a better thing. It's not going to be as good as you want it to be, but the fact that you didn't spend your time doing it meant that you spend your time in an area that made you more money. That's what's important, is to put your time where it's your key competency area, where you're working in your best instead of doing other things that first, they always assess. You don't. You say yes, assess later. You hate failure and you will avoid failure at all costs. You will avoid failure at all costs. So after a couple of times of setting these high lofty goals that you had not figured out the talent, the skill, and the time it was going to take to do it, and you did not achieve your goals, and you stopped setting goals. Either that or you set these little tiny ones that really have not fulfilled you. That is burnout. I'm telling you, assess first wisdom. Ask for wisdom for your life. The wisdom you need is, should I touch this or not? Look at the rest of your life. Look at all the kids and all the commitments you already have before you just jump into something and say, well, I'll fix it later. Because that's what leads you to burnout. So do with your time what is the highest value of your time, not the least value of your time. Hire somebody else to do some of those other things, including your laundry. Do you understand? Cleaning your house. There's lots of people that love to do that and would be happy to be paid to do it. That helps you. You don't get paid to do laundry. You don't get paid to clean your house. Let somebody else do it, but it drives you crazy when it's not done. Hate unfinished things, okay? Spiritual gifts of a ruby is leadership. It says, he who has a gift to administrate, let him do so. So you have a leadership gift, and you often move in that place also because you have boldness, which is also a spiritual gift, by the way. Boldness is a spiritual gift, and these two groups have boldness working real well for you. That's your job. Just tell it like it is. So, and not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Before he formed you in your mother's womb, he knew you. And he made you exactly the way he wanted you. Exactly. Don't let man try to change you.
It has aided me in keeping my business growing while I've watched many businesses in the same marketplace and the same economy go off the table. The skills that I've picked up help me deal better with my employees, my family, my business associates, my suppliers, the whole gamut.